The thoughts, views, and opinions expressed by this podcast, as well as its hosts, are for entertainment purposes only. The viewpoints expressed, although based on very real topics, are not to be taken as fact. With that being said, enjoy the show.
Hello, world. Hello, world. Hello. Frank. Welcome to Part in the Politics podcast. We back. I'm back. Really? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hello, world. Welcome to Part in the Politics podcast. We back. I'm back. Yes, sir. Really? Part in the Politics podcast. Hello, world. Welcome back to Part in the Politics podcast, season 3, episode 29. I'm your co-host Jeezy. On one side, I have my brother Manny here with us. Brother Manny, how you doing today?
Hey, happy to be back.
Indeed. We took a little bit of a break, but we're back, and we also on the other side have none other than the chairman of chaos, the purveyor of truth himself, Brother Chuck. How are you doing on this fine day?
Really? Did you miss me?
Hey, welcome back to our listeners. Welcome to another episode. We had to take a little break, y'all. The boys were sitting here talking, and we were like, bro, when was the last time that we took a vacation? And clearly, when you start losing track of time and can barely remember when it happens, that's typically an indicator that you need to take a break.
That's a fact.
So we thought that while Donald Trump had seemed to be cooling off a little bit and there wasn't as much chaos, depending on who you ask.
The world was only partially on fire.
He was asleep.
Hey, while the world was taking and the chaos was taking a granddaddy nap, we decided that we'd slip out and go ahead and get ourselves a break as well, too. So hopefully you missed us, and we are back with another episode. We are so glad that you are tuned in. So we're going to jump right into it. So today's show is really about what happens when politics, personal loyalty, and government all seems to collide. We have a couple of things that happened while we were out on our vacation that we're going to briefly talk about and just give you our thoughts on. And the first thing we're going to talk about is the passing of South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham, which was very abrupt, happened out of nowhere, the news that we got. And for Lindsey Graham, he was a man whose political career stretched from the impeachment of Bill Clinton to the wars after September 11th to becoming one of Donald Trump's closest congressional allies. But Graham's death has quickly become more than a story about his legacy. President Trump delivered a very Trump-like eulogy, which if anything was to happen to me, please, brothers, I ask that you do not let someone speak over my body that would speak in the manner in which Trump did for Lindsey Graham.
Donald was the first person I'd be considering to deliver your eulogy.
Right.
So Donald Trump's eulogy was very much like that eulogy of, or not so much eulogy, but when you give the floor to people to have remarks, and you tell them they got 2 minutes,
bruh, hey?
Bruh.
Or that uncle that come by that's on drugs and get up there and start talking crazy.
I remember when my great grandmother died, and she was like in her 96, 97. And we had a time where people could just come up and tell stories, but quick 2-minute stories. So we thought we were about the end of everyone telling the stories. And then all of a sudden we hear from the back of the church, a lady says, I have something to say. Well,
that's always the indicator right there, bro.
Always.
I got something to say.
You ain't walked yourself up here.
Well, it took her about 2 minutes to get from her seat to the stage. So,
well, you did say your great grandmother died in 96, 97. So
yeah, this lady was late 80s, early 90s. So
you should have just walked the mic back there to her.
Right. Yeah. Yes. But she just wanted to get up there and give us a story about a day when my great grandmother went to the store. The story was 30 minutes.
Oh yeah, nah. You gotta start playing the saxophone. You gotta get the
organ riled up.
Yeah, bro. You just gotta start singing, "Oh, when the Saints go marching in."
Just kill the mic.
Oh, man.
Yeah, just kill the mic. Because, brother, old people will do that every time. And so Trump, in Trump fashion, was just doing what old people typically do when they go to funerals.
Just got up there and rambled on the mic.
So before I get into Trump's remarks, have y'all seen the video? There's two videos that have been circulating. One of them was the guy that was sitting behind Trump.
Ooh, people are saying he was a Secret Service individual. You talking about the one that had his face all tore up and sick to his stomach?
They say he smelled something with his mouth.
And for all of y'all who are asking, how do you smell something with your mouth? It's very possible.
Bro,
it's very possible. And it can be something that you've never, it's something you've never tasted before and don't want to taste.
Hey,
but you know what it tastes like based off that smell.
He caught a mouthful of that scent.
And they say toe up from the floor. He was hurt.
Bro. Depends. They said depends stops leaks, not smells.
Hey, bro, we might stop the leak, but we can't stop this smell.
He needed a Glad trash bag.
It was that video, and correction, it was 3. The second one was him trying to put that Tic Tac in his mouth.
Bro, the Tic Tac.
He missed
struggling.
He missed his whole mouth.
That Tic Tac went flying and rolling.
And then when he got the second one, he parsed his lips to get like, ooh.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he had the guy that Tic Tac in there, bro. I say, yo, first of all, the first mistake is that your hand already swollen, so you ain't got good feel of that hand. In order for you to toss a Tic Tac in your mouth, bro, you got to have the feeling in your hand to know where it's at and what kind of trajectory you need to make sure, bro. I imagine the video didn't show when it actually missed his mouth because it had to hit like his nose.
Oh yeah,
it had to hit somewhere.
Every football coach in America, eyes on the ball.
Eyes on the ball, bro. He took his eyes off the ball, bro.
But before he missed his mouth with the Tic Tac, the handing and offering up of Tic Tacs to JD and the likes.
He's like, nah, man.
First of all, I've seen that video and I said, Trump, it's 2026. Who is still carrying around Tic Tacs?
An 80-year-old man.
Bro, no Dentine ice, no Mentos.
Nope. That man right in his suit pocket, his jacket pocket.
Yo.
He reached right down in there.
Look, if there's ever a question of who keeps
there was original
in business,
and there was original flavor,
bro.
It's either one or two things. It's if you're going to carry, you're either carrying Altoids or you're carrying Tic Tacs,
bro. Tic Tacs is wild, and then he only had one, so I already know that you ain't doing it to keep your breath fresh because you need more than one, more than one Tic Tac.
That man with them Tic Tacs was hilarious. Tic Tacs shouldn't be that funny.
Right, and then the last video when he walked off from the podium, and he knocked on Lindsey Graham casket.
Yeah, he gave that man a double tap.
He gave that.
Thanks, man.
He talking to him in Morse code.
Tap twice to like.
Hey, but you know what was funny? They put that video in conjunction with JD tapping his wife's leg when he sat down with her. They said, "Oh, this administration good for just giving people a tap of approval."
Bro, that man tap said, "If you're still alive, not twice."
He's like, and just listen real quick. You're like, nah, he gone.
I ain't never been to nobody's funeral and seen somebody knock on the casket. Right?
Good work.
I got you, buddy. I got
you.
I did right by you.
Trump said, "Not like, hey, you like that eulogy I gave you, like, bro."
I really killed it out here. I really killed it.
Oh my Jesus, bro! Trump is funny. So he, in his eulogy, in his remarks, Trump called Graham a giant of the United States Senate and a true American original. He described him as someone who would make you laugh, but also someone you did not want to fight. Trump also acknowledged Graham's reputation as one of Washington's biggest foreign policy hawks. At one point, he joked that Graham never saw a war that he didn't like, before explaining that Graham believed America's enemies had to lose for America to remain strong. Some people are classifying it as Trump was affectionate, but also they were saying that he was classic Trump. He retold a story of publicly giving out Graham's cell phone number during their bitter 2016 presidential rivalry, and remarkably,
that was
wild,
nasty work, man.
to give somebody a number out because
you my political opponent,
bruh. That was wild. And he also remarkably repeated the number from the pulpit at the National Cathedral.
He said,
I guess he said, well, now if you call him, he dead. He won't answer. It don't matter.
If somebody answers, you might want to be worried.
He got up there. He got up there and said 281-330-8004.
Trump, wild, man. Trump joked that Graham got the last laugh because Graham continued calling him for the next 10 years. So he talked about their golf games, Graham's humor, his military service, and his refusal to quit. And Trump closed with a religious message. And that message was saying that Graham had received the crown of life and had been reunited with his parents and his Lord. Notice he said his Lord.
Not our Lord.
Not our Lord.
Not our Lord.
Mine. His Lord.
But one part of Graham's life was largely absent, and that was
wife and kids. Oh, sorry.
Dang. What Kevin Hart say? Damn.
One thing that was largely absent about Graham's life was the mention of John McCain. Before Lindsey Graham became known as the Trump Whisperer, which is a wild name, he was John McCain's closest political partner. They traveled together, they promoted military intervention together, and frequently worked across party lines. Graham's relationship with Trump ultimately became the defining feature of his final political chapter, but it was not the complete story of his history. And I think that needs to be made note. And actually, it's kind of, when you think about it, as wild when you think of the legacy of John McCain and his final acts and things that he did, and to see how far Lindsey Graham has come from being aligned with some of those things that John McCain stood up for. So, but Manny, I'll ask you this. When you look at Trump's eulogy, did his eulogy properly capture Lindsey Graham's full legacy, or did it mainly present Graham as a supporting character in Donald Trump's political story?
I was actually a little bit shocked by it, that Trump didn't talk about Trump as much as Trump has historically talked about Trump anytime he gets behind a microphone. So that was a little bit shocking. And I say shocking not from like, oh gosh, shocking, but it's like unexpected.
Yeah.
Did it fully capture who Lindsey Graham was? Absolutely not. But I don't think anyone's eulogy is ever truly going to capture who a person is, and
That's a fact.
I don't think you want it. I don't think anyone actually wants that.
No, yeah, probably not.
Tell my highlights, not my lowlights.
Yeah, even better. I don't think anyone wants to hear that version.
The truth
sitting in that room.
Yeah.
Yes.
The only time I've seen a funeral where everyone wanted to hear that real version was that episode of Fresh Prince when Will accidentally killed the other judge that was played by
Sherman Hemsley.
Sherman Hemsley. Yep.
Yeah.
The guy stood up. He's like, I'm just here to make sure he's dead. Like, that's the only really time that I remember there being a funeral where people are like, yeah, I'm just here to hear the full story.
That episode of Burning Mac where the guy died.
Oh, yeah.
Burning Mac stood up. He got exactly what he deserved. And you die just like how you always being alone.
Alone.
Really dirty bastard. I'm so glad I said his Lord.
So I don't think I don't think you wanted to really tell the whole story. People have eternities to break down the who is Lindsey Graham. I think a lot of that speech was who Lindsey Graham was to Trump. Yeah. And I think that is a fair story for Trump to tell. But you know,
people lie eulogies all the time.
All the time.
Yeah.
You know how many people been put in heaven at the eulogy?
Bruh. And not all of them like
Hey, and I know you in heaven watching down.
You ain't got the heaven or hell to put nobody in, but I can tell you the likelihood.
If I was a gambling man, I can tell you the elevator went down and not up.
The likelihood of looking up versus the likelihood of looking down
ain't likely.
It's quite different.
Different planes of existence. But man, I agree. It was a bit shocking that Trump did not take more time to make to glorify himself, and that he did give up a lot of praise and acknowledgement to Lindsey, but also to what Jeez said to lead off to this. I think a lot of that had to do with how much Game of Thrones reference here bend the knee and to Trump, and how much he was, that ally. And you make up a very great and interesting point. Him and John McCain in those early years were like tag team champions.
Because I think it was McCain, him, and was it Biden?
With the what you call it?
There was like a group of three of them. It was McCain. I don't know. I'm gonna go figure it out.
But yeah, they rode heavy, and so to see how much reverence Lindsey Graham had toward Trump, although it could be because of the office or just political positioning, it was interesting because of how Trump disrespected John McCain so much, and he disrespected all of his political opponents, but the level that he went to disrespect John McCain was insane to me. And from a political standpoint, did I agree with everything John McCain stood for? No. Did I agree with some of the things? For sure. Yeah. However, John McCain showed his level of humanity and decency when he was on the campaign trail against Barack Obama. And when all of those people and his supporters would stand up and try to go with this birther narrative and say that he was this, that, and the third, and John McCain would stop in the middle of his rally and say, no, number one, we're not going to do this. Number two, I know him. He is a good and decent family man who loves his wife and children. He's my political opponent. We don't agree on everything, maybe across the aisle, but what y'all not going to do is disrespect this man for who he is. And at that point, I don't care what anybody said about John McCain. And to me, that speaks to who you are as your character. And to be disrespected the way he was by Trump, and for him and Lindsey Graham to be such strong running buddies, I'm telling y'all now, if one of y'all came out and disrespected my boys right here, I promise you, me and you ain't gonna be cool.
Nah.
We're not about to be cool. And I don't care if you make it right with them. I'm still not gonna be cool with you.
And
that's who I am. God's still working on me.
We still hold grudges.
But to be his number two, though, like to Chuck's point, to be his number two, like that's
and you let this person, this outsider, because Trump is an outsider. You let this outsider come in and blatantly have the level and magnitude of disrespect he has for someone that you have worked side by side with for years, only for you to let that die, to bend the knee to him.
Yep.
That makes me do what Chuck is saying. That makes me look at you from a moral and character standpoint a little like,
what is he doing? what is she doing?
What you stand for?
Right.
You turn this how you turn heel and the wrestling term.
That's the wrestling turn heel. Yeah,
that's how you turn heel.
It's a different
Paul Heyman energy, bro.
it's a difference between lining up politically.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You're playing the game. That's what you do. That's what you do.
Yep.
But their engagement and their relationship seems so much more than just aligning up politically and, that political game being played. That's not what, and we'll talk about something else a little more later. But yeah, I couldn't rock with it.
The third person I was thinking of was Joe Lieberman, not Joe Biden.
Oh yeah.
The three
Joe.
amigos.
Three
amigos.
It just for before we move on, just to acknowledge to what you guys had said earlier about Trump and his eulogy. Surprisingly, it was only 14 minutes. So I think within the realms of giving Trump the mic and letting him say what he got to say, 14 minutes ain't bad.
I think he had his medicine he had his medicine at that point, and it was earlier in the day.
And he had just took his nap.
He had just took a nap there too. So
I was about to say, yeah.
But there have been reports coming out, and this is off of topic just a little bit, but they say that Trump never sleeps. Like he doesn't like sleep at bedtime.
There's no way there's no way he sleeps consistently throughout the night.
I mean, but let's be honest. Would either of y'all need to actually sleep at night if you at least spent 20% of every hour asleep?
You're probably right, but I mean, my grandma had dementia and she didn't sleep well at night either, so it might be a connection.
Yeah,
I was about to go in the reverse and say he's sleeping during the day because he's not sleeping at night.
He'll wondering at night. That's why he don't sleep. My grandma used the same thing. My mom my mom and my aunts had to rotate who go there and spend the night.
Shift.
Yep. Had her sleep by the wall so that you sleep. So you shouldn't. When she try to get out of bed, you wake up. That's what Trump doing. Trump needs somebody to make sure he stay in bed because he wondering at night.
They said that little girl who print off his tweets.
Hey.
Yeah. But this ain't a gossip podcast, so we ain't gonna go there.
Yeah, we ain't got no tea on that just yet. But
that kettle is start. You see the flap starting to move a little bit and start whistling.
Gotta be quiet on the creek.
We were see, never mind. I was about to say when we were proper people, but you done hit quiet on the
creek. Well, with Lindsey Graham's passing, obviously there has been a vacancy that has come about in the Senate, and South Carolina Governor Henry McMaster has appointed Graham's younger sister, Darline Graham Norden, to temporarily fill the vacancy. Now, the family history makes the appointment emotionally powerful. After their parents died, Lindsey Graham became her legal guardian while he was still a young man. Trump said that despite everything Graham accomplished in politics, Graham considered how well his sister turned out to be his proudest accomplishment. So Darling becomes the first woman to represent South Carolina in the United States Senate. Sorry to those that did not have this path laid out to them before. It seems like all you got to do is be in the right political family.
That's it.
To make that work. But she has worked in several South Carolina state agencies, including the Commission for the Blind and the Department of Employment and Workforce. She holds a master's degree in rehabilitation counseling, but she has never held elected office before this appointment. So her appointment was originally supposed to cover only the remaining months of her brother's term, but Trump has encouraged her to run for the full 6-year term, endorsing her, and said he wanted her to continue her brother's work. Now, one of non-Republican candidates in the August 11th special primary, the field includes sitting members of Congress, Russell Fry, Ralph Norman, former Governor Mark Sanford, and several other Republicans. So if no candidate received the majority, then the two top advance to the August 25th roll-off, and the eventual nominee faces the Democrat.
Hold on, did you say roll-off?
He did.
Oh, runoff. Sorry, brother.
No.
Roll-off,
That's what we calling them from now on.
Roll-off.
From now on, it's the roll-off.
It's the roll-off.
The roll-off.
It's the roll-off now.
So man, Darlene has openly said that she entered the race because she was answering Trump's call to service, and she also won an informal straw poll at the Republican convention campaign event in August the 1st. So there's two ways to view this. One is that she represents continuity, understands her brother's constituents, and can finish the work he started. The other is that being related to a deceased senator should not automatically provide someone with a temporary Senate seat, a presidential endorsement, and the advantages of incumbency before voters have had their say. So, Chuck, I'm gonna ask you this: with Darlene and her appointment, is this a respectful way to preserve stability after an unexpected death, or does placing a senator's relative in the seat feel too much like political inheritance?
All right, so let me preface this by saying I support cognitive nepotism. And I throw the word cognitive out
cognitive
here.
is
For
the big
a
operating
reason.
word.
That's the key. That's the key. Don't miss it.
For a reason. We have nepotism in this Trump administration in the form, well, not direct nepotism, but family nepotism in health and human services. And you see where that has gotten us. If you don't know,
everyone got a boo-boo.
But to your question, I feel this is high level disrespect, quite honestly, and it's a disrespect to the people of South Carolina. And the reason I say that is because in her statement, it's essentially saying, I ain't want to do this, but Trump asked me to do it, so I'm going to do it.
Basically.
I'm at the call of the president, so I decided to do it. Now, if this was a matter of running a halfway house or a rehabilitation center, by all means. And no, you do not have to have studied in poli-sci or gone to law school to be a U.S. senator. Some of the best ones are those who are of the people, who understand the people.
Yep.
But I can't confidently say, well, hell, I can't confidently say that was Lindsey Graham at this stage either. So there you have that. But what I don't like is when you don't allow the people to impact who is serving them. And although you have individuals who may have not had the majority, they had a base of the constituent who supported them in leading the people. So why do we run to the notion of let's go ahead and appoint someone, especially when you just had a midterm, and it's a tricky situation to do. I quite honestly, if I was in the position, I probably would appoint someone who was in the midterm, let them finish out, and you still have to run your campaign to do the 6-year term. But I truly believe in the representation of the people. Is what matters, and in that you have individuals, like I said, who have received votes from the people. How you make the decision on who you pick out of that group is whatever decision you make. But at least there's a level of representation of the people.
And Chuck, to that point, I think that's why in a lot of states you see scenarios like this where they're like, if you get appointed to serve out the rest of the term, you are not eligible to run in that next election. And I think that's exactly why you have it, is for situations like this. So you don't get the advantage before everyone gets an opportunity at it. And
well, see, in this situation, and I think for me, it's conditional in that in that reference or that tone or that moment. Like if there was like another year to 2 years left in this term, I agree with that.
Yeah,
I agree, because you definitely are at an advantage. It's August. She got appointed end of July, early August, in July-ish.
Couple of weeks.
And from July to November, I don't know what level of advantage you gain in that short window of time, because unless you go in with Sonic the Hedgehog legs running, hitting the ground running, and well, first off, with this Congress, you ain't getting much done.
You ain't getting much done.
As it is.
Well, I think that's also why you get Trump in asking her to run for the six.
Oh yes,
the full term is.
You want somebody you can count on.
Well, it's not even from someone you could count on. I gotta have somebody in there with a layer of name ID I can tie something to run against this Democrat. I think this is more about preservation of the seat at this standpoint instead of like who this person and Trump leverage. I think like with somebody being able to say, I'm Lindsey Graham's relative, I'm Lindsey Graham's sister, that's going to do a little bit more to get somebody over than like, hey, I know you're seeing my ads maybe for the second or third time this year and you don't know me from anything at this point. Vote for me. So no, I think this is really about, I think Trump doing this is really just trying to preserve another Senate seat as they walk into what's going to be a very difficult midterm for them.
I can see that. At the same time, it's South Carolina. And my level of confidence and this is not even about the candidate. This is actually about the Democratic Party. The level of confidence for them to, we said it here, we've mentioned it here before, invest in this race, and the amount of money and attention that you're going to put into this race, because in their mind, it's almost a lost cause because it's South Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
And when is the last time they had a Democratic senator? Eons.
It's been a minute.
Eons. so from that point, I totally understand, but at the same time, we see where the Democratic Party's focus is in regards to allocating resources. And I'm pretty sure South Carolina, I wouldn't even give them middle of the pack of allocation of resources. They, we know who the top states are that they're going to funnel the resources and energy into. Then as you slide down the poll, you have those other, not quite swing, but there's potential to be a swing. Yeah, swingish. And so, once we have a firm grasp on what's going on in those top priorities, then we can kind of trickle down to those swingish states. But we don't see South Carolina as swingish.
And the last time that South Carolina had a U.S. Senator was 2005. So well over.
In political terms, eons, 21 years.
The thing that I have an issue with, and Chuck, you've hit it right on the nail right on the head, is the representation of the people. Because I voted for Lindsey Graham. For all I know it, his sister Darline could be the complete opposite of who she is or who he is. How do I know their views still are the same? Just because they share the same name. There's a lot of families that share the same name, but ain't got the same principle, ain't got the same morals, ain't got the same values. So how can
you said it before, Kennedy.
I mean, yeah. So
but like, is that an issue, G's, you have with the runoff or just the appointment to the seat? Because I think you're going to run into that. You're going to run into that whatever when you just having a seat appointment. Like this is just not the person you voted for, and it's somebody else making the call. But I think that's why it turns to the election and what happens there.
Well, I think that to serve the remainder of his term, perfectly fine with. I'm perfectly fine with that to a degree, because like I said, it's going to be the likelihood of her getting anything done is highly unlikely. So I get that, but that endorsement to go even further and do the 6-year, and have the endorsement of Trump, I think that's something he should have stayed out of, simply because you should leave that to what did the people want? Let the people get to know who Darlene is. For what it seems that most don't know her at all. right? So it's not like she's a major public figure in South Carolina where people know her simply just because she's Lindsey Graham's younger sister. So I don't necessarily care for the endorsement, but I understand the appointment. But to the point that you made too, Manny, I think this is all just Trump saying, "What can I do to preserve the seat?" Right? What can I do? Because they're even with her running, they're not even using her actual last name. They're just using Graham. Her last name isn't Graham anymore. She's married. Like she's married, and they're not even using her actual last name just because of that name recognition. Graham. That's all you're going to see, and it's going to hopefully I'm assuming their strategic play is that the emotional tie that those who loved Lindsey Graham in South Carolina will just simply roll right over into keeping that same name going in politics. And that's a nasty play to play on the emotions just so you can preserve a seat. But hey, it's politics, and it ain't politics if it ain't a little dirty.
I mean, we've seen people do other crazier things. It's not like they're trying to hide someone being dead in the hospital for 40, 50 days to prevent somebody being appointed to that seat. It's not like something like that's happening in South Carolina.
Bruh, they got them oysters on ice, bro. They about to go bad at this point.
One thing though on this before we leave this, G's, this is the second time in 3 decades that South Carolina has had to replace a senator while they were still sitting in office.
That first one, if it's who I think it is, Strom Thurmond.
Mm-hmm.
Why was he term limits, age limits, please? Like why?
Yeah.
Why?
So,
and for Darline, she's 62, so that kind of goes to what we've said before. I don't know. She about right at age limit as well too.
You only got about 6 in you.
Bro, if the term is 6 years, I mean, she's already 62. She just turned 62 in June.
Yep.
I mean, we gonna have another person being 69, 70 years old sitting in the Senate. I mean, my Lord, man. But
so it's the new retirement plan.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll see how Darline how she goes. Darline got a couple of names too from research. She's Darline Graham, and it looks like at some point she had a name Darline Graham Bogues. Now she's Darline Graham Nordham, I believe is her name.
Yeah.
Oh, Darline.
I mean, is she? The only question I have is she related to Aubrey Graham?
I don't think so.
Okay. See, there we go. I'm just asking the questions, man.
At any rate, we'll see what happens with Darline and this appointment that she's had from Trump. But another thing going on in South Carolina is that the Air Force has started the process of renaming Joint Base Charleston as Joint Base Lindsey Graham, which terrible name, but I would be fine if it was just, well, I ain't gonna say I'd be fine either way, but maybe Joint Base Graham or Joint Base. Why you gotta have the whole name? It's too long. But the decision has
got to be quick.
Yeah, it's gotta be. Yeah, you go Joint Base Charleston. Now you gotta say Lindsey Graham. But anyway, the decision is not completely disconnected from Graham's record. For those that don't know, Graham served more than 3 decades in the Air Force, in the Air Force Reserve and South Carolina Air National Guard, eventually retiring as a colonel. Most military, never mind. I ain't even gonna get into that.
Let it ride. Let it ride.
Most men in the military, they get married. They like to get married early. No family, no wife, no ex.
Yeah.
Colonel, okay. He was also a major advocate for South Carolina's military installations and helped direct federal funding towards Joint Base Charleston. The base houses more than 50 military commands and operates the country's largest fleet of C-17 cargo aircraft. The Air Force Secretary signed a memorandum beginning the renaming process, although there is not yet a firm timeline for the change. Supporters say that it is an obvious tribute to the military veteran and senator who spent decades supporting the installation. But critics are not necessarily arguing that Graham deserves no recognition. Their concern is whether officials rush to rename an entire military base without public or local input while the country is still mourning him. Charleston is more than a name on a sign. It is a city, it is a military community, and it is a historic identity. So when you think about that, Manny, considering Graham's military service and support of the base and for the base, is renaming Joint Base Charleston a fitting honor, or should a discussion this permanent require more public discussion?
Man, this is a distraction from a litany of other things that are far more important than this. But now that we've acknowledged that, I mean, call it what you want. Like, I think that's really a decision for the military and that local community. Like, there is a process in place. Follow the process, and if it gets changed, it gets changed. Mm-hmm. But all these name changing of things is really a mechanism of the government pissing money just down the drain for no reason. Like, I get that you want to honor him, and again, I'm not saying that this is a good or bad idea. Like, if you want to, but like, follow the process. But y'all, we have more things that are more important than to be arguing about whether a base should be changing its name. Gas is almost $4 again here in North Carolina.
Jesus.
Like we're beef. Our strategic oil is almost gone.
Beef,
bro.
Like we're down bad.
RK said just eat liver, bro.
Oh, okay. Well, then we good.
I like some good liver and gravy and onions, but I don't want liver as my burger.
There are people who are eating salad, and
no, you're not. You better not. You're gonna have explosive diarrhea,
bro. Getting torn up. So not saying that the naming of a base is not important. I'm just probably saying it's not the most important thing right now.
Can you let him get in the ground good? I mean,
I was about to say his body's still cool. He ain't even got warm yet.
Right.
The worms ain't even realized it's dinner time.
Oh, new entree. We got soft serve.
Yeah, wait.
Give him a second, man. I mean, get him in the ground first, man.
I don't think they've even taken the never mind. I'm gonna let that joke ride. Carry on. Back to you, G's.
But yeah, Chuck, what's your thoughts, brother?
No, absolutely not. He's a traitor. That video came out of his phone call with Benjamin Netanyahu in Israel
the day before,
and I don't care what anybody say. You can call this disrespectful. You can call it what you want to. Like what Lil Wayne said, call me what you want. But I don't care. To me, that is being a traitor. He was in support of Israel's military merging with the U.S. military.
Yep.
That's a traitor to me. There should not be any foreign entity integrated into the U.S. military.
He was already giving.
Listen, where is George Washington's mindset regarding this country? Where is it at? Y'all revere these founding fathers so much.
Hey,
after George get over the fact that slaves are free, the next thing he coming for is why y'all functioning this?
Why are y'all taxes so high?
Why are y'all with these foreign nations and entities that got them, bruh?
Y'all got stuff everywhere.
And not that I'm dismissing his mindset about slaves, because y'all ain't trying to give us reparations. So right. It is at this point. It is what it is. But a lot of the things this man has addressed, y'all pissing on,
bro.
Well, they're treating him. It is one of the few times we see consistent treatment of people from MAGAs.
That's fact.
Because there's another group of texts that they treat very sparsely and when it's very convenient, and that text is the Bible.
Right.
Well,
and
the true law of the land.
Right.
Between the Constitution and the Bible, bro, they get
very selective.
Love to use it to justify, but when it comes to condemn,
but true application.
Mm-hmm.
You know, one thing that people and to give a more, let me be more refined and give a more profound response. I agree with my brother Manny though. The Republicans is supposed to be the party of fiscal responsibility.
Fiscal responsibility.
What is fiscally responsible about renaming this base? And the man ain't got warm in the ground. Number one. Number two, the deficit just hit $40 trillion.
Yeah.
Man,
I was gonna say, well, I was like, what's fiscally responsible about starting wars that we ain't got no business being in
there too?
Across the world?
But I wasn't even gonna go to the war yet, because let's talk about the back and forth and the naming and renaming of these other military installations. Let's talk about the renaming of the Department of Defense to the Department of War and the millions of dollars that took in changing letterhead. Where is the fiscal responsibility?
It costs to be the boss.
Bro.
It costs to be the boss,
never
man.
seen the level of money wasting that's going on right now is at a astronomical number. Bro.
Well, here's the part that scares me though. Are we wasting more money, or are we wasting the same amount of money? They're just not hiding it.
They wasting it. Hey,
could be, brother. Well,
could be. Well, if
they're wasting money, they're wasting more. They're wasting more. Well, they're wasting more.
If they're in the spirit of wasting, I don't mind them throwing a couple of
send some my way
meals over here.
Send some my way. I'll show you how to waste it enjoyably.
Look, I'll show you the right way, the most enjoyable way that you could waste money ever in your life.
I can show you a way to waste money, and not only will I appreciate it, but I have some midnight ballerinas
stimulating the local economy.
The local economy, yes, sir.
Brother, I can show you how to waste money in the most efficient way possible.
That's a fact. Hey, you want to see George Washington headbutt somebody?
Yes, sir.
Come hang out with me. I'll show you.
Bro, at any rate, the renaming of it, I think it's too
Why
soon.
Now? Why now?
But this isn't unusual, because I believe South Carolina had an issue where they had a veterans highway that they tried to rename after Charlie Kirk. And it's like, you chose. Now, granted, you can, if Charlie Kirk is your cup of tea, he's your cup of tea. But what are we saying here when we decide that we're going to remove something that honors veterans?
Yeah.
Right.
To honor someone, of Charlie Kirk's character, demeanor, and
non-veteran status.
Non-veteran status. Yeah. And plus the Chuck point what he said about Lindsey Graham too. I ain't got any respect for anybody that's gonna tell me that I should be sending my sons and daughters to go fight a war when you ain't got no sons and daughters to send over there yourself. Don't tell me what to do, sir. If you ain't, it's easy for you to say that when you ain't got nothing to contribute. So, sir, no. So yeah, a little too soon. I don't think it's much deserved, and that's no disrespect to what he's done. There's no disrespect to the service that he's had. Two things to be right.
Yeah, my remarks have nothing to do with his military service. Hey, you did what you did, cool, but
there are repercussions from that.
Unless now you're telling me that he's supposed to be considered now Mr. Charleston, I believe that the name of Charleston holds much more weight in South Carolina than Lindsey Graham. Charleston stands for much more, as I said, than just a name. It's a city, it's a community, it's an identity. I don't think that outweighs Lindsey Graham. But at any rate, Lindsey Graham has gone on to be.
Going up a yawn. Well,
I ain't gonna say where you go. I'm just saying he's going on to be.
That's why I stopped it. I stopped to be, going on to be.
Well, Lindsey Graham's story shows how quickly grief, political succession, and presidential influence can become intertwined. But our next story goes even further, because instead of Donald Trump attempting to shape who occupies a Senate seat, he is now fighting members of his own party over who will permanently control the United States Justice Department. So, That brings us to Todd Blanche's confirmation and the fight that has surrounded this confirmation. At this point, Todd Blanche has not yet been confirmed as Attorney General. As of today, the Senate Judiciary Committee is scheduled to reconsider his nomination on Tuesday, August the 4th. An early committee vote has was postponed because Republican senators John Cornyn of Texas and Tom Tillis of North Carolina withheld their support. Blanche can remain acting attorney general while his nomination remains pending, meaning Trump may be able to keep him running the Justice Department even without an immediate confirmation vote. So, now, for those that don't know, Blanche was once a federal prosecutor. He later became Donald Trump's personal defense attorney and represented him during the during his New York criminal case. He became the deputy attorney general in 2025 and was elevated to acting attorney general in April 26 after Trump removed Ms. Pam Bondi. That history created the central concern surrounding his nomination. Can the man who defended Donald Trump personally now independently run the Justice Department when Donald Trump is president? No. Blanche says he is not Trump's yes man. Lie. Critics argue his actions have continued to resemble those of a personal attorney protecting a client rather than the attorney general protecting the public. And in case Todd Blanche does not know, that is your job as the attorney general. You are protecting the public. You serve the people, not the president. But the biggest obstacle to Blanche's confirmation is the proposed $1 billion anti-weaponization fund that we talked about in previous episode. That fund grew out of a settlement connected to Trump's $10 billion lawsuit against IRS over the leaking and handling of his tax information. And under the proposal, people who believe that they have been politically targeted by the federal government could apply for compensation. And as I have said, and my brothers have stated on this podcast, I do. And I believe for a fact that I have been politically targeted.
I know
by the federal government. And I do believe that I apply to be compensated for being politically targeted.
For the duress.
The effect that this has had on my family will be felt for generations, and I need to be compensated for that.
That's a fact.
But weaponization was never clearly defined. Blanche previously refused to rule out the possibility that people convicted of violence connected to the January 6th riot could apply for payouts. He said a 5-member commission would determine and decide who qualifies, and the attorney general would appoint that commission. That created a remarkable situation. Trump's Justice Department could potentially distribute taxpayer money to Trump supporters who claimed that they were victims of the previous Justice Department. And that agreement also included protections against further IRS audits of Trump and members of his family. So their skepticism was strengthened by Trump himself, because Trump has even doubled down on this payout. Trump said that the fund was dead, but then he said he wished that they were not dead because he believed people had been abused and deserved compensation. So when you think about this, and these senators are essentially saying we cannot simply accept verbal assurance from Blanche when the president's continue publicly advocating for this policy, because they've said, okay, well, if you're not going to do it, Blanche, put it in writing. You're saying that you're not, put it in writing. He chooses not to do so. So Chuck, is this really a debate about Todd Blanche's qualification, or has Blanche damaged his credibility by appearing unable and unwilling to separate the Justice Department from Donald Trump's personal, finance, and political interests?
My brother and our listeners, if you have not heard our dialogue concerning this, please go back and listen. Yes. And I truly believe we will not go super in depth, because we've said this before. And again, this is another instance that we held the confirmation hearing here on the podcast before the actual confirmation hearing and presented the questions that would be presented to Todd Blanche. So why were you not prepared for this Senate confirmation hearing? Manny, you muted, brother. But it's you can't separate what's not separable. That's inseparable.
Yep.
Todd Blanche and Donald Trump are like the sun in your shadow.
Yep.
Right there.
You got the sun out, you gonna see your shadow.
If I take sugar and I mix it with water and I stir it up and it's all, you're not separating them back
you're
out.
They're
too intertwined.
Here's scientific. You'll never know what you're gonna get on this podcast. It's called homogeneous. It's a homogeneous mixture.
Yes.
And that's what they are, a homogeneous mixture. And you may call it, here's psychology, a Freudian slip. When in his testimony, when he said, I am his lawyer.
I'm his lawyer.
No, I was his lawyer. No, you're still his lawyer. You may not be on a retainer now because publicly. Oh, well, he has a public retainer. I put you in this position to get paid.
Yep.
And open the door for you to make some more money. So, no, you might not be on that retainer directly, but you still get counsel from him. And like Jeezy said, you're supposed to be the lawyer of the people.
What is going to happen on day 3? Because that's about as far as I'm getting out. When a legal issue comes to the forefront that puts you at direct odds with President Trump, what are you going to do?
What?
We've already seen it.
We already know it.
We've already seen it. When the victim said that they'd be willing to speak to him about the Epstein files, he ain't spoke a mumbling word to them yet. Why? Because it has a direct interest to Donald Trump, and he cannot do that.
Yeah,
he cannot do it.
And in regards to this fund and the settlement that was set forth, as we said here before, how are you, and I'm so glad that the judge rebuffed this, how are you administering the architecture of this fund when you were the architecture of the notion to even have the lawsuit to form the fund? Like,
wow,
there is no what is the term? God dang it! Why am I drawing a blank? Separation of power is for the lack of not the term I was trying to say, but there's no separation here. It's too commingled, and I am glad that you have Republicans who are giving pushback, for whatever reason, because I honestly don't believe that it's in pushback from integrity. You know what I'm saying? Like if this was an integral type of pushback, there would have been pushback many other times throughout this administration. I think there is some pushback here because you essentially turned your back on me. And so this is petty pushback. I'll put it like that, versus the moral or point of integrity to say, okay, put it in writing that this fund is dead, but also give us the scope of this immunity on from the IRS and your tax auditing. Why is this even a question? Why should we even allow you to be immune to being audited in your business ventures and your family members? Why?
But do I even want somebody representing me in any capacity that could think of a solution like this?
Would I want someone? Yeah. Would I?
True. Sorry. I guess from a personal standpoint.
From a personal standpoint, yes. Would I want them as Attorney General in cahoots with the president, the sitting president? No. Now, personally, pretty sharp.
Him out. You gotta keep one of them close by.
Hey, you're pretty sharp there. That's pretty.
I think a lot of the questions linked around him have nothing to do with his ability
No, nobody's
his
questioning
competency. Like,
No.
obviously, the man is competent in doing what he needs to do.
We addressed that. We addressed that before. Like our gripe then is consistent with our gripe now. It has nothing to do with your capacity. Now, there's other individuals who've been a part of this administration or in the cabinet or in different roles who we question your competency. We question your ability to get the job done. We have no question at all. You went to law school. You passed the bar. You are a lawyer, a high functioning lawyer.
Yeah.
We
just question how grimy you are.
Oh no, like you can get the job done. The question is what is the job that you're being asked to do
to get done? Yeah. What is it that you're not going to get done a part of this job?
Yeah. A shady lawyer is still a lawyer.
Still a lawyer.
Well, I think that's why you have this significant pushback, and you see with Cornyn and Tillis, they're not liberal Democrats trying to prevent Trump from appointing a conservative attorney general. Their argument is that a Republican administration should not be creating a fund that looks like political allies compensating other political allies with public money. Trump has responded by attacking Cornyn and suggesting that he would withdraw Blanche's nomination. Now this is what Trump gets sick with it. He said that he'll withdraw Blanche's nomination, keep him as the acting attorney general, and then nominate him again after Cornyn and Tillis leave office in January. That would technically preserve Blanche's authority while avoiding the concessions Republicans are demanding, but it also creates a larger constitutional issue. Senate confirmation is supposed to be one of the primary checks on presidential appointments. If a president can indefinitely use an acting official while still simply keeping the nomination alive, the confirmation progress begins to lose its force. Because there should be a timeline, a time limit on how long can acting be. But certainly Trump being Trump, and the people that are behind Trump find the loophole and essentially say, hey, look, we'll just kick the can down the road and we'll wait until these two get out and we'll find out where we're at and count our cards when the new Senate comes in. So, Manny, asking you this, when you look at Cornyn and Tillis, show what they're doing here, are they showing legitimate independence here, or are they finding courage only now because both men are approaching the end of their Senate careers?
I mean, both can be true at the same time. In the case of Tom Tillis, I believe he is doing this for the right reasons, and the fact that this is pissing off Trump is a secondary joy for him.
Yeah.
From Corn, I think he maybe a little bit is leaning into the this is pissing off Trump and this is making me happy.
This is the petty nature of it.
He petty with it.
He want that get back.
I think that's what you have with both of them, but I think ultimately, I mean, great loophole. Like, I think it is if I'm on Trump's team, I think this is probably the only correct play. If you want any type of hopes of getting Blanche passed, but here's the other kind of dangerous scenario. Midterms go bad, you lose the Senate.
Ooh.
They are going to have from Election Day till January 2nd to try to get him passed, and the likelihood of being able to even find the votes at that point, real small.
Very, very
real small.
Bro.
So I think the play makes sense. And I think it's probably their only play if they're trying to get Blanche over, outside of something crazy happening. But there's too many questions about the weaponization funds, too many questions about the IRS deal, too many questions about the separation of Trump and Blanche in general. There's too many questions to think that you're going to be able to get your entire conference of Republicans to align to push somebody over. It's not going to happen.
My problem in all of this is, why is it Cornyn and Tillis? Why are they the only two on that island together?
That's because the other one still got to bend the knee.
That's where that coward come in.
Cowards.
They shouldn't be on this island by themselves.
Should not.
Because anybody, no matter what side you're on, should be questioning these things.
But geez, we've seen this political posturing happen time and time again, and I do not fault Trump and his team for saying, "Okay, fine, y'all don't confirm him; he'll still be acting. When y'all go, I'll bring it back up."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
no different than how the Senate had stalled under Obama in doing confirmations to the point he was like, "Okay, forget it."
And people love using the rules.
Yeah. find time to find out how to use the rules now.
Right, right. Well, I think when justice in this, when we look at this whole Todd Blanche thing, when justice begins to look like compensation for loyalty, it stops looking like justice, man. And when you have someone like Todd Blanche pushing these things, it makes you really wonder, where is the independence? Where is the people? Where is the public in all of this? And for our listeners, when you see this, I don't care what side of the aisle you fall on, whether you are a Trump supporter or not, whether you're a Democrat, Republican, Independent, we're all a part of the public. And regardless of if you support Trump, you should be questioning and asking yourself, okay, is this person really going to do the job? And the people that I'm sending to Washington that are saying, hey, this is fine, are they serving me in the best interest because they're public servants to you? And that has been my gripe with Congress, with Trump, and those that support him. Apparently, reading between the lines was too difficult for people. So then this administration made it easy for you and said, okay, instead of you having to read between the lines, we'll just tell you what we're doing. We'll tell you that we don't care about what your ideas are, what your life looks like, what affordability. We don't care about none of that stuff that's tied to you. We're doing what best suits our interests. We want. And you still ain't picking up what they're putting down. Anybody?
Is you stupid or is you dumb?
Is you stupid or is you dumb? Because this man is telling you, and for anybody. I find it very strange how people love to talk about, well, my taxpayer dollars. This man telling you he gonna take your taxpayer dollars. Have you seen what's going on with your taxpayer dollars? Have you seen the things that this administration is doing and has done? At this point, does Trump got to kick down doors and take the money out your purse before you realize he's taking your money?
And then at that point, they'll be like, oh, well, I'm going to make sure I'm going to be a part of contributing and make sure he has what he needs. It's insane.
Trump made the crazy comment the first time he ran for office that he could shoot somebody in the middle
online,
and every day
lose a single vote.
Every day we're just
he ain't lying.
Yep.
I thought it crazy, and I found out that I was the one that was crazy all along. I really had hope that people weren't this crazy, bro. There are people that are really this fool. And have you heard people try to explain it? That's
brother. It's so mind-boggling if you sit there and try to use logic and understanding when listening to them explain it. Ooh, it'll drive you crazy.
Man, you're like, you got to keep yourself grounded.
Exactly.
I realized I had a mental issue when I realized that critical thinking was something that most people were equipped with. I realized that I'm messed up, brother. I'm wrong. These people, I don't understand. Why would you want the attorney general who serves the public to be serving the best interest of the president? And he hasn't demonstrated that he is willing to be independent in that. So if you don't believe, we have this man who willingly has said that he is not going to sit down and is not willing to meet. He said that I can't talk to Epstein survivors without their counsel. Bull crap. Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
Lawyers take statements all day long, every day.
And if there's further counsel they need, you can go from there. But you certainly can entertain any statement made by them. And look, but there again, it does not appeal to the interests of the president. But for the public, and I'll say this, and we'll move on. If it was your family member that was impacted by this, you be begging and pleading that justice be served.
Somebody do something.
Well, then, just because the mess ain't on your front porch don't mean it ain't in your neighborhood.
Right.
So you may want to think about that when you look at people that blatantly tell you they will not serve the interests of the public. And I believe it was our great sister Maya Angelou who told you that when someone tells you who they are, believe them the first time.
The first time.
So with that being said, the question of justice versus political retaliation carries directly into our final story because Republicans are arguing and then brought back Brother Fauci to the center stage. Fauci Fauci said, look, as Drake said in the song, I tried to the R switch place with the I. I'm tired. On July the 29th, former National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Disease Director Anthony Fauci appeared before the Senate Homeland Security and Governmental Affairs Committee. Now, the committee chairman, Rand Paul, I gotta call you Rand Paul on this. This ain't brother activity.
You're not getting brother.
This ain't brother activity that you're doing here. But he subpoenaed Fauci to answer questions about the government's COVID response, the origin of the virus, federal funding connected to the coronavirus research, and whether Fauci previously misled Congress. Now, Fauci clearly is a fan of the Dave Chappelle show that used to come on Comedy Central because Fauci,
2, 3, 4,
he invoked the Fifth Amendment right against self-incrimination more than 100 times. He refused to answer questions ranging from serious issues involving research funding to questions about his emails, diaries, and public statements. First of all, you too old to have a diary. I'm just gonna say that.
Dear Journal, today in Bluffington.
I would rather you call it a journal. Say he had a medical journal, something of that nature. That man too old for you talking about say he got diaries. He is this ain't Hey Arnold where he's sitting in that room writing about his day. Like, quit it. But Republicans say his silence demonstrated that he had something to hide. Now, Fauci said Paul has spent years pursuing an unhinged campaign to imprison him and that the hearing was designed as a legal trap. Which, hey, you're going to try to trap me up, I'm just going to hit you with the fifth. Now, former President Biden, issued Fauci a pardon before leaving office January 2025. The pardon covered potential federal offenses connected to his government service from 2014 through the end of the Biden presidency. Republicans therefore argued that Fauci no longer faced criminal exposure for his pandemic-era actions and had no valid reason to refuse questions. Fauci's legal team offered a different argument. The pardon did not protect him from accusations involving testimony given after the pardon. If Fauci answered a question and Republicans later claimed his answer was false, complete, or inconsistent, they could attempt to prosecute him for a new act of perjury. That means the hearing itself could create fresh criminal exposure even when the underlying conduct had been pardoned. Now, Rand Paul rejected that explanation and announced that the committee would vote on August 5th on whether to hold Fauci in contempt of Congress. Even then, a criminal referral would require additional Senate action and Justice Department involvement, and the legal validity of Fauci's Fifth Amendment claim could ultimately be tested in court. Now, Chuck, I'm going to ask you this. Does Fauci pleading the fifth more than 100 times make him look guilty to the average American, or was remaining silent the only rational decision when some of the senators questioning him were openly demanded that he be prosecuted?
My brother, we said this time and time again, and it holds true every time. Jay-Z has a line for every aspect of life.
Right.
In this instance, I have two that comes to mind. The first one is, you want my old ish? Go get my old album. The second one is never argue. A wise man told me never argue with fools because people from a distance can't tell who is who.
Mm-hmm.
Why am I back before Congress again and again and again, asking me questions about the same thing you asked me about before and before and before? So in this instance, I know what you're trying to do.
Yep.
I've seen this play before.
Mm-hmm.
I have the right to plead the fifth.
Mm-hmm.
I've given this testimony. Go back and look at them transcripts.
What George Bush say? Food can't get food again.
Fool me. Can't get food
We can't get food again. And it's so it's not baffling, but it's so hilarious that Trump has not stepped up and put an end to this. Because what people fail to realize is, or are blind to, the reason that Anthony Fauci was a part of the COVID conversation in the first place is because Trump put him as the White House coronavirus task force lead. Donald Trump did that.
You know he forget, just like he forgot he appointed Jerome Powell, bro.
and then because he had been the lead in that, when Joe Biden became president, he brought him on
as the same
to continue
role.
to essentially in the same role, gave him a different title, but continue the same work. There's a level of consistency that I want here, and we're dealing with this large scale pandemic, worldwide pandemic, and as it's been mentioned on this pod before, quite honestly, the U.S. handled this top tier. If you're looking at the aspect of the entire globe, how the U.S. handled this. And the results and things that happened, we came out ahead of many other, and I'm talking about undeveloped countries, the developed countries.
Yep.
There's many countries that continued and held lockdown long after the U.S. There were many countries. Hold on, real quick. There was many countries that was coming to the U.S. asking for assistance.
Russia.
Developed countries. Hey, we see what y'all have going on. We see what y'all doing. Can y'all send some of that our way?
The strangeness with COVID and Trump is always going to be if you look at Trump's first administration, and we've said it here countless times, one of the glowing spots of that first administration is the vaccine response to COVID.
Bruh. That's exactly what I was about to say.
It should be a shining achievement for Trump. Like if Trump would have not
saved his life.
Yeah, like
bro, saved him.
If Trump would have not run that second time or this third time, Trump damn near might be considered one of our most effective presidents just because of how that whole piece was handled.
You practically saved the world.
As long as we subtract the financial aspect of
you gotta take that out minus the one.
I think the part about this that is so stupid and it's going to kill us in one way or another is, are there some real questions that we need to ask about our COVID response? Yes,
of course.
Yes,
any aspect.
That's how you get better.
But we can't ask those questions if we don't have an environment where people feel safe enough to give the answer of like, hey, I made the best decision with the information I had in front of me at the time or what I understood. Do we need to check how our funding, especially around health stuff, is flowing across the world? Absolutely.
Yeah.
But we can't have the honest conversation. Like, do I believe there are things that we did during COVID that in hindsight we would never do again? Yes.
For sure.
But like, unless we're able to cleanly have a conversation almost from the place of, I did the best that I could. I was not intentionally trying to be maliceful here. Like, we're never actually going to put ourselves in a better position.
Yeah. Well, you hit it right on the head, man, and that's spot on. One thing I want to say is, to the point that you made with this being COVID being his crowning moment, it's very odd to see his very own party continue to attack it,
Yeah.
attack COVID and allow that space. Nobody, I believe, at least with common sense, in a moment where we were in complete uncertainty.
Yep.
I don't think that there's anyone that can say in a moment of complete uncertainty you would handle any situation perfect, right? So a space has to be created, and I think ultimately that's what Biden saw, that there was not going to be a space to do that for Fauci, and why the pardon was given. But we can't continue to rake and rehash COVID in a way to say, aha, I got you, you messed up. Because for one, in my opinion, there's nothing we can do about COVID. It happened. Thankfully, we got through it as a nation. We lost a lot of people on the way, but certainly, to what Chuck has said, we certainly didn't lose and didn't come out as bad as most of the world.
Right.
Most of the world looked to us to figure out how to navigate through this because of the job that we were able to do as a nation. And that was led partially by Fauci and what he was able to do. His job wasn't going to be perfect, but to me, this all looks like a stunt. Because what newness or what new information are these committees trying to seek to establish? Is it so that we can be better whenever, the next pandemic or the next situation or the financial flow of how these things progress, that we have a better, filtration of how those things look? Or are we just trying to point fingers with no new information and just pull these stunts again?
Look, man, it's campaign season, and I need good video of me asking questions, and so that can be chopped up and get thrown in a social media ad that I'm going to see on TikTok. And as I ask myself, why is Michael Watley here on TikTok? But
you I can't remember who asked the question, but why are they going after him about COVID in 2026? I blame Trump, because Trump took COVID and tried to fully place it on Joe Biden, and that next run of campaigning, and tried to make it seem as if it was only during Joe Biden's term that we encountered COVID. And although he was the precursor and the catalyst of starting that downward spiral, and being that Joe Biden appointed Fauci to, the presidential advisor or whatever the title was. So now they want to solely tie him to Biden. And that's why I started my commentary in the way I did, because let's remember where he got his place. No different than how they turned on, like you said, Jeez, how they turned on Jerome. Jerome got here because of Trump. Fauci got here because of Trump. Fauci had another job that had nothing to do with
the
COVID situation. But because of his knowledge, because of his experience, he was brought on. And quite honestly, he did not have any power. He was a consultant. He provided insight amongst information that he gathered working with others, and presented this and how we should handle this and the direction that we should go. But he had no power to pull any triggers to make anything happen, or to facilitate the disbursement of the vaccines and the structure of how the vaccines were going to go out. Yes, there were people who lost loved ones with this vaccine. I have a question for y'all. Have y'all listened to the commercials with these drugs and the side effects that can come from the use of these drugs?
There's a reason why everybody's smiling and frolicking.
Yes. Have y'all, if it's talking too fast for you, record it. Slow it down to 0.5 so you can understand what they are saying with the side effects of some of these drugs. That is the same case with this vaccine. They acted I don't want to say in haste because that has a negative connotation, but they acted
expeditiously,
in a expeditious manner. Thank you, brother, because of the critical nature of what was going on, and to villainize this man as if he said, "I want to contaminate the entire country and kill him off with this vaccine," because he didn't go with a one method or of medication or combating this virus versus the way he went, and that you didn't agree with. That happens every day.
Every
day. In that infectious disease community, there's a set of scientists who agree with one thing, who counter what another group agrees with. You get that in healthcare. You get that in all aspects of science. And I'm keeping it, hell, it's life, period. But in the scientific space, there are no unanimous groups of scientists who only agree on one thing in one aspect, and you're just going to go that way. That was the case. Where is the cure for cancer?
Bruh.
Where? I'm like,
where's it at?
It pisses me off, man, because there's many different things. Again, not just a waste of money, but a waste of resource and a waste of time. Mm-hmm. Why are y'all not giving pushback to the individuals who will not step forward and stop being cowards and get this war resolution voted on? Not approved, not voted on. They voted on it and they keep running with their tail between their legs. Sorry, bastard Fetterman. But anyway, like there are so many more important things, as my brother Manny said time and time again, and said earlier in this episode. There are more important things that we should be focused on and tending to. But we're sitting here twiddling.
Why are we bringing this up?
We bringing this back up. COVID hit the scene 6 years ago. We got the thumbs up to be completely clear 4 years ago. Why? How many? Fauci has been grilled at least 3 times.
At least. Why we ain't grilling Trump?
Why?
What? Because
he was president.
He had the active hand to pull the trigger. He told us it ain't nothing but a common cold. He told us it's nothing like the flu. Oh, you just go outside and sit in the sun. You'll be fine.
Drink bleach and sit in the sun.
Look at it. He's the leader, and he look how he mismanaged the situation. But we ain't questioning him.
You seen him on that balcony about to kill himself, trying not to cough,
trying to suck air through his nose.
And then after the testimony and the grilling or the lack thereof, Trump came out and said, "No, I'm going to honor Biden's pardon." Wonder why? Why the change of heart? Because you was talking big cash beforehand. I'm all these pardons. I'm gonna go after him and get rid.
He ain't touched not one.
Not one.
I mean, plus it's also hard to do that too when you're gonna do the exact same thing.
I was going to say this.
Have already done it.
Oh, yep.
He's just trying to protect a precedent.
Look, because I'm gonna tell you right now, if anybody got a problem with them pardons that Biden put out, if Trump make it to the end of this term, boy,
Lord, I hope not.
Sorry. The day before.
Hold on,
Trump,
FBI. Chill out, y'all. Yeah. Just chill out, FBI. Because I saw a story where a teacher. I'm sorry, Manny, for cutting you off, but I gotta say this because although we are not as big as we're gonna be, we reach quite a few individuals with our audience. And there was a teacher who sent a Snapchat message to some friends and family because she was a student teacher, and this student in the classroom came up and deleted all her lessons plans for the week. And she said, "Should I shoot him?" In Snapchat? In Snapchat message. That disappears. Do you know Snapchat AI scanned this, saw this,
sent
it to the FBI. The FBI sent it to the local authorities, and within an hour, if I'm not mistaken, or so, they were at the school picking that teacher up, that student teacher. He got questioned about it. And they end up letting her go, realizing that it was no active threat. She was like, I apologize. It was a bad joke, but I wasn't meaning it in the fashion to actually harm him. So they did let her go, but she lost a student teaching assignment. So FBI, I'm not trying to harm him, but if the good Lord and natural causes happen, I ain't gonna be sad.
Look, you ain't got to worry. All you gotta say, Chuck, you ain't got to worry about me. I let the Lord fight my battles.
Hey,
it ain't me you got to worry about.
It ain't me. A power higher than me. Hey. Let me get this.
Sir.
Paul, praying in the jail like Paul. We're gonna
sir.
Take this foundation.
The day before Trump leaves office,
I'm telling you, bro.
The amount of pardons that we
forget the auto pen. Forget the auto
that Sharpie out.
That Sharpie.
Boy,
you know how hard it is to draw a Sharpie out,
bro. In one sitting.
In one sitting, and you ain't leave the cap off. Oh, bro.
Bro.
The part's gonna be flying. He might give us one, and he did nothing.
I pardon the host.
Cause you know he gonna be selling them.
Oh yeah, he gonna be selling.
Hey,
I got 5.
How much is it for a little? I don't need a full one. Just give me a little conditioner. Let me get a little. Let me get a little 2B special.
Hey, pardon me from everything but murder.
Yeah.
essay. Because I ain't gonna do none of them things.
Well, no PDF file type stuff. I'm connected.
Yeah, PDF. Yeah, none of that. None of that. But pardon me for everything else.
Pardon
me for little small little stuff. Speeding tickets.
Speeding ticket. Let my tags expire.
Yeah, tag expire. You definitely need that,
Manny. Ooh,
no, you need a blanket registration where it just covers you for like 20, 30 years. You ain't got to do nothing. It's just good for 20, 30 years.
He ain't got to renew it till he's 70 when he do his verification check.
Right, yes. When I start
give me one of those.
Going for my yearly check-ins.
Yeah, give me a dealer tag that don't expire. I just ride around, got it just on the car. Yeah, let me do that. Man. But yeah, Fauci, man, I feel you, Fauci. And it's crazy, bro. It's wild to try to do the best you can at a job and you still get criticized and you got to take the heat. That's crazy, bro. Because he won't in that
people deal with that every day.
I know, bro, but it's just crazy though, bro. Like, it's
but,
crazy.
But people don't take it from the country. That level every.
You take it from a level that makes sense to you.
They attacking him like every 6 months.
They act like he is literally responsible for killing millions of people by himself solely. Like and that was his intention. Like, bro, come on now. Anybody else, if they were going to do that, then there's no way that you telling me when you look at the global scale of how the pandemic was handled, and we come out.
Nobody else mess up.
Right.
Of course not. It was only
uncharted. You want me to go through uncharted territory? Perfect. You don't want me to stumble. You don't want me to trip. Bro, are you serious? Like, where is the realistic? And that's why I believe it's such a political stunt, especially going into these midterms. You already got the president rehashing the 2020 election. We already got election fraud and integrity. Oh, while we at it, let's bring up COVID again. Like, it's all to me just a political stunt that they bringing it out. So I feel Fauci, bro. I'm not about to do this game with y'all.
Hot tub time machine.
We not about to.
We ain't going back. We're not going back,
bro. And to you, what the point that you made earlier, Manny, to close this out. We got much more things.
We got way more important things.
The hoax word that Trump hates to use, affordability. Why don't y'all do something about affordability?
Affordability is not the problem.
Can I get a burger?
Please. Can I get a burger?
And I don't want to go to the grocery store and pay $15, $20 for no meat.
Whoa.
Pause.
Whoa.
Yeah. That was agreed.
Whoa.
I did say the grocery store. Ain't nobody buying. Buying. See, I ain't on that side of the web.
And that's your back page.
Yeah, no, I ain't on them pages. But bro, why don't you tackle that? People are struggling with affordability. We are struggling with having to cope and navigate and deal with a war that we didn't ask for. We struggling out here, bro.
Let me speak on that real quick.
We were a proper people when you could get a Bojangles 4-piece Supremes dinner for less than $9.
How much they are now?
It's like $10.
$10
for 4 Supremes and a side.
See, that's your meal. I ain't been to Bojangles in a while. I might have to go there for dinner tonight.
So two things real quick. Number one, here in Georgia, we don't have Supremes anymore. They have Bo Tenders.
Tenders?
Yes.
Trash.
And so
that can't be the same.
They're not.
No, it's not. It's
Okay.
not. So for our listeners who don't know, well, of course y'all don't know, we won't hear. I went back to North Carolina. I was in North Carolina last week to some family stuff. And when I pulled up, I went and got Bojangles because having Bojangles in North Carolina,
different
than having it in
experience.
And when I pulled up and said, "Oh, they got tenders? I mean, they got Supremes." I immediately hit the family group chat. It was like, "Hey guys, I'm about to get some Supremes," and they're like, "What are you talking about? They got Supremes still?" And so I flew to North Carolina and they're like, "Bring us some back."
First of all,
no.
Coming back with a box of just Supreme on the airplane is wild, bro.
It's super wild,
bro. Apparently, there's a difference.
Yeah, it is.
Like
I'm telling you, it's a difference.
Are frozen, deep fried, and coated in the bold, spicy Cajun seasoning. I had to go to Google for this, but apparently they're what they're pushing, and they think they smart. They're saying the bold tenders are freshly hand battered. So it's like a fresh, not a frozen option. I ain't buying it.
They don't taste the same.
The tenders are frozen. They take them out, they thaw them out, they season them, they put them in the batter, in the flour, and then they fry them. Been there, done that. I used to work at Popeyes. They don't hit like the Supremes do.
They don't.
They don't hit like I'm telling you now. They don't hit like the Supremes do.
The Supremes hit, bro.
Although
I had another point, and I forgot it because we started talking about the Supremes.
What I will say, geez, if you do go, and this is not advertising, although Bojangles, you are a North Carolina company, holla at the boys.
We better not get a Bojangle endorsement before we get a Mount Olive.
Bro, Bojangles has
fact.
Bojangles has a new dish called Bo Bites. They're like chicken.
We have those here too. Those Bo Bites slap.
Yeah. They good.
Yeah. And they have you God,
bro, we got off on this exit, right?
that peach
the peach habanero sauce.
I seen that. Is it good?
Brother, my God.
Yeah, I don't like spicy, so that's why I was like,
oh, you ain't gonna like it then.
Okay.
It got some heat to it. But that peach flavor,
I might have to get it just to try it.
I'm a fan of mango habanero.
See, I like mango habanero, but some
you'll like it. You'll like it.
Some mango habanero ain't as hot as others. It depends on like the brand.
Yeah. See now, Chuck. Now I'm gonna go try it again because the first batch that I had of it, I felt like it had a very manufactured. Like peach flavor.
Oh well, you're gonna get a manufactured peach flavor if you're not getting a peach itself. I don't care what it is.
That's fair.
But the sweet heat of that sauce,
that sweet heat,
it's pretty good. Now I'm gonna tell you, and we're gonna move on to something else. Let's get back on track. I'm not a Chick-fil-A fan. That their food is mid to me. I don't care. We can battle it out. I don't care who you are. Their food is mid. What makes their food is their sauces. And for the longest, when it first dropped, the Chick-fil-A sauce was it. It's not it no more. Then I moved to the honey roasted barbecue.
Boy, that honey,
it's still fire. It's still fire. But what trumps that? the sweet sriracha.
Okay, so I've not tried that yet.
Brother.
Okay.
That sweet sriracha with them nuggets or the tenders. Oh, Lord. Yes, sir. Okay, I got it.
So all that being said, Bojangles, Chick-fil-A, holla at the boys.
Yeah, I'm in Atlanta.
And that deal better not come before Mount Olive.
Mount Olive pickle.
Because we have a pickle of the week consistently. We need to have that.
It's just sitting out there.
And I love some good old Mount Olive kosher dill pickles.
Hey man, my cousin, my wife's cousin, was graduating. I forgot what school she's going to, but it's an art school, and their mascot is the pickle. It's a North Carolina school.
Oh yes. I can't remember what it's the North Carolina School of the Arts.
Yeah, I think that is, but I can't remember. It's the something pickle or something that is.
Yeah. Because when I went on the college tours with my daughter, we actually did a tour there, and their mascot is the pickle. Sure is.
So she's going there for theater, right? And so she, for her graduation party, she had all these bunch of different pickles that you could try. And I'm not a pickle fan. I don't like pickles. I ate them so much growing up because that was the thing in the summer. You go out.
I'm about to go get me a jar right now.
You know that mama or grandma had a jar of pickles. Get one of them, wrap it up in a paper towel, go back outside, play a snack. Did that way too much, so I just don't like them. So then I was like, I tried. She had those. I mean, and I might be calling them wrong. They like the bread and butter.
Yeah, the butter pickles.
Butter pickle, bruh. Yeah. Oh my God.
I'm not the biggest fan of the butter pickles, but I know some people who love them.
Oh, bro.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm more of a kosher deal guy. That's what I grew up on. Like you said, they used to give you a pickle. But you know what? I realized they were ahead of themselves in that, because with the World Cup, if you didn't notice or didn't know, when those athletes was cramping up, they have pickle juice packets.
Pickle juice.
Oh,
yes. Pickle juice stops and aids in alleviating cramping.
Pickle juice and mustard.
Yes.
I knew the mustard. Yeah. I didn't know pickle juice, though.
Yeah. So our folks was ahead of themselves. That's how we was outside all day.
Right. Now that makes sense. Boys be running from sun up to sundown.
Sun up, sundown.
The first cramp.
They say these kids ain't coming back inside.
No, sir.
Yeah. You got the water hose out back and you got a pickle in your hand, bro. You good.
You can come back in for a second one, maybe 2 hours, 3 hours down the road. We out there from sun up, sundown.
Yes, sir.
But that pickle juice kept us going.
I did not know that. That's something. Hey,
the more you learn.
It made sense, bro.
Yes, sir.
Well, at any rate, man, between Lindsey Graham passing, Blanche's confirmation and Fauci's hearing, certainly we're at a very awkward time here in politics, especially when you look at accountability, because accountability without consistent standards becomes retaliation. And, when you look at these things and you look at each one of them, while they seem to be separate, they're definitely connected in a way of presenting what the landscape of our politics look like now. So, Fauci, I don't know what you were doing before, but, bro, go back to doing what you was doing, man. Until otherwise,
that man,
bro.
He was retired, chilling.
Yeah,
man,
he had retired.
Relaxing.
He had retired. What was that 2022, 23, somewhere in there? He retired. That man had been. Listen, that man he was working in a official government capacity in that realm longer than both of y'all been alive.
Yep.
Because he was first appointed, like I think 84, to a position that was not a elected a position. And was there for years up until, everything started going on and they start moving them around. But yeah, it's time to go sit down somewhere, man. Leave that man alone.
He been trying to sit down.
He been trying.
Man said, I essentially led the team to get us out of this crazy mess that could have been worse.
And this the thanks I get.
And this the thanks I get, bro. Blanche, hey, man, find Jesus. That's all I'm going to tell you, Blanche. Find Jesus, bro. And Graham, may you rest, Lindsey Graham. And I don't know where you resting. I don't know if you're gonna rest well.
Real quick. Did y'all? There was a bit of bubbling tea in the kettle of when he passed. And somebody released a little statement saying my NDA is expired now because he dead.
Hey.
That's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna leave it at that because this ain't no gossip podcast. But the flap on that kettle pot is moving. It ain't just start whistling yet.
Just building up a little pressure.
Every time I see them bring up this stuff about Lindsey Graham, bro, it made me think of that video with that guy Leslie. He was twirling. He said, "Daddy, watch me twirl." It was Lindsey Graham as a kid.
Don't call me no punk.
Hey, Lindsey Graham said you gotta be quiet on the creek.
All right, so we got your pickle.
Hey, bro. So at any rate, man, we are at that point, and again, Mount Olive Pickles. Need my endorsement, man. Need my endorsement because we are now at that point.
Listen, we can't eat no lettuce. We need a Mount Olive Pickle endorsement.
Hey, we got to do something.
When I get us all into the biggest pickle any of us had ever seen.
Y'all, there was a new report that came out.
Uh-oh.
And I got this report from none other than Fox. I went over to the enemy territory and got this one.
Uh-oh.
And Mr. Ken Paxton, my brother, you might be in a pickle. And it ain't because of all the scandal. It ain't all the other crap that you got going on. You might be in a pickle, brother, because the polls that came out by Fox News showed that Democrat James Tellerico is leading Paxton 51-48. Now we got to mention that is within the margin of error. So take that for what it's worth. But this is Texas. The Republican nominee should not be looking at the polls and say, well, technically, we're only losing by a little bit. Nah, you shouldn't be doing this. But the bigger problem for Paxton isn't simply that Tellerico is ahead. It's that the voters, including Republicans, are questioning Paxton's character. The poll found that 59% of Texas voters are concerned that Paxton lacks the character to serve in the United States Senate. And of that 59%, 36% were Republicans.
Ooh.
Now, let me repeat that. More than 1/3 of Republican voters are looking at their own Senate nominee and saying, I agree with some of his politics, but I'm not completely sure I would leave my wallet around him. What I'm going to tell you right now, don't leave your wallet around Ken Paxton. Don't leave your girl.
Don't give him your PIN number.
Bad idea.
Hey, now, that is not Democratic opposition. That is an intervention being organized inside your own political family. In fact, twice as many Republicans are worried about Paxton's character as Democrats are worried that Tellerico is too extreme. 36% compared with 17%. So Paxton is also personally underwater, with 51% viewing him unfavorably and only 45% viewing him favorable. So when you really look at these numbers, Paxton, he has a real problem. Now, Republicans still may vote for him because of abortion or immigration, taxes, or just simply because he has the endorsement of Donald Trump. But the poll found that roughly 8 of 10 supporters of both candidates said their choice was mainly about the issues rather than the candidates personally. So there may be some slight hope, but elections are not always won by convincing the other party to support you. Sometimes they are lost because people in your own party are too embarrassed, exhausted, or unmotivated to show up. Now, Paxton has spent years surviving investigations and impeachment trial, which that impeachment trial came at the hands of his own party, and a scandal after scandal by calling everything a political attack. Now, that argument may work for the MAGA base, and we've seen it happen before. But when 36% of Republicans are questioning your character, you can't blame that all on Democrats. Some of those people are wearing the same jersey that you got, brother. So Ken Paxton wanted Republicans to judge John Cornyn's conservative credentials. Now Texas voters are judging Ken Paxton's character. And based off these numbers, some Republicans appear to have reached the same conclusion as Democrats. They may support the agenda, but they don't necessarily trust the messenger. So, Ken Paxton, brother, you may be in a pickle. You may be in a pickle. And I believe it's been over 30 years since Texas has been blue for this seat. I believe that this may be the best opportunity. It may be coming at the demise of the endorsement of one Donald Trump, picking this controversial individual who has had a litany of issues, scandals, circumstances that had this been anyone and anybody else, wouldn't stand a chance. But some reason this man was put on a pedestal by the president, and that pedestal may be the pedestal that he ends up being a pickle and fall from. So, brother, you're in that jar. You better get to work, and you got a very short time.
November gonna be here in about 3.5 hours.
And if your only way to throw dirt on Tellerico is that he's a vegan in Texas, it ain't looking good, bro.
I mean, that is a big issue, though.
It is, but not with these numbers.
Now, this is episode what, 29?
29, yes, sir.
let's put a mark on that, because if the pickle streak continues, those who have been placed in the brine and in the jar,
they have a rough time getting out.
When the rooster comes to crow.
Hey, bro.
I'm just saying, it ain't a prediction yet, but it's just foresight. It's foresight. That's all I'm saying.
And I will say this before we move to our spotlight. I don't know if you guys have seen this, but Maine has picked their Democrat nominee to replace good old Plaitner, and already they said apparently, I believe his name is Troy Jackson. Troy Jackson is the Democrat replacing Plattner, and they said that there's a rumor going around that he had 2 kids by his cousin.
I saw that. Yes,
bruh.
Maine as a state can't get right.
Hey, bro. Bro, how y'all didn't vet the right person, the first person right? Ain't nobody say nothing about this.
The first person got handsy with women. This man got handsy with family.
Hey, bro. Man love his family, bro.
I love mine too, but not like that.
Right.
Hey, somebody said, what cousin do? The first cousin, second?
I think it was the second cousin.
First of all,
nasty.
First of all, the fact that you asked a
period.
Right. Like,
cousin period is that's the end of it. That's the end of it.
The only way you excuse from that is if it's a cousin that y'all had no idea y'all was cousins, and it popped up at the family reunion, and you're like, what? But you knew that second cousin, you knew that was your cousin.
Bro, you didn't find that out after the first kid?
They ain't care. They ain't care at that point.
Yeah, you came back around the block for that second one.
No. If it's your second cousin. The fact that you even got to that point,
right, is big enough of a problem.
But see,
hey, bro,
the way we treat cousins, never mind.
Bro,
never mind.
Y'all ain't noticed when that baby came out, had the same nose as both of y'all, and was delayed a little bit.
Brother, this that Lannister Targaryen lifestyle.
Hey, bro, y'all gotta get out that game. Hey, stop watching that Game of Thrones, bro.
Jamie and Cersei Lannister.
Hey, bro. Some folks like to keep the family pure, bro.
That's what they say.
Maine, bro. I had my ex-girlfriend was from Maine. I ain't know they got down like that. I guess the Lord saw fit to leave me out of Egypt. I didn't know what kind of. It is funny, bro, because we dated for years and I never went to Maine, bro. She did that probably for a reason.
But they want your cousin though.
No, her granddaddy was a lobsterman. He said, "Hey, whenever you come up to Maine, I got to take you out on that boat."
Oh no, you won't.
It's trap.
I know what that means. I might go out, but I ain't coming back.
R.I.P. Nolan Wills,
bro. You got to stay out the boats.
I killed the movie. Stay out the boats with him.
You got to stay out the boats with him, bro.
Now I sound like a hypocrite because when I lived in Morehead City,
I was about to say, bro. Yeah,
bro.
You definitely was on the boat.
I'm talking about out there in the Sound, out there in the ocean.
I know it.
I was the onlyest one.
See,
here's the difference. Boats, my high level of confidence may have led me to a bit of arrogance and incompetence. I was like, I can fight.
But
I ain't beating no waves.
But look, the key they always ask, can you swim?
Listen, so
that's that temperature check.
I got a story for that because I can swim. I can.
That's why you survive.
However, swimming in the pool, swimming in the lake,
bro,
ain't like swimming in that ocean.
No, sir.
Yeah, that's true.
It is not like swimming in that ocean.
That ocean will beat you down, boy.
So a few years ago, went to Colombia and was in Cartagena and went jet skiing. And I flipped the jet ski and turned it over and ended up in the water. And we out in the Caribbean, that's the Caribbean Sea.
Yeah.
If you don't know what the Cartagena is, it's off the coast. It's the coast of Colombia. And if you don't know your geography, that's the ocean. That's the sea right out there. That ain't no little. Ain't no
Moby
little
Dick
bit of
and all
water.
of them just hanging out.
As my aunt say, I ain't going out there on that boat. I can't drink up all that water. But when I fell off, I saw the jet ski, and I said, all right, I can swim. I mean, I had a life vest on, but I can swim. I'll swim to it. I felt like I was swimming for an eternity because as I'm swimming, the waves is pushing the jet ski further away from me, and I ain't swimming fast enough to catch up to it. And it was choppy, bruh. Swimming in that ocean ain't nothing like
no joke.
Ain't no joke. I was dead tired to the point when I finally got to the jet ski, I couldn't even pull myself up. That's how tired I was,
bruh.
Ain't no joke.
The ocean ain't that. Don't play with them waters.
And I'm gonna be honest. I said a prayer. I said, Lord, don't let me die out here,
bruh.
Not like
my
this.
wife. Because if I die out here and my wife go get with another man with all that insurance money that she gonna get, I'm coming back to hunt her.
Oh, honey.
I'm gonna hunt her.
That water ain't no joke. It's the reason why we don't explore more space than we have sea. The reason.
The facts.
Can't play on the waters, bro.
That water ain't no joke, bro. None whatsoever.
Well, that leads us to the end of our episode, y'all. And of course, you guys know at the end of each episode, we like to give you our spotlight of the week. So, Brother Manny, what is your spotlight of the week?
Well, this is going to be a kind of an interesting one. We don't really have stories that fall like this, but for the first time, we have a subject that is going to not only be the pickle of the week, but is also going to simultaneously be my spotlight of the week.
That man got a double-double.
Yeah, he got a double-double, man. I don't think anyone's ever pulled off the double-double.
No, I don't think so.
So, all right. So what do we got? So Ken Paxton has opened a formal investigation into LinkedIn. He is alleging that the platform advertised and profited from ghost jobs. Ghost jobs are listings that don't really correspond with real openings, real positions, or that they're job openings that have stayed open after they've been filled, and the employer having no intention on pulling down the role, or even roles that they'll open with no intention of actually filling it. The working theory here is that LinkedIn sells premium subscriptions on the promise of access to roles and hiring opportunities that are active, without disclosing how much of the marketplace may be part of that dead listing. As of a couple weeks ago, there's been research into the context around ghost jobs. And companies and groups that have tracked it is saying if you look at most of LinkedIn, about 28 to 32% of jobs on LinkedIn are ghost jobs. So for every 10 jobs you apply, 3 are you're never going to hear anything, about this. And I think what adds to the complexity is that this is really convenient. You're looking at a time where the economy is obviously in a level of flux. So jobs are a really sensitive issue for a lot of people. While on top of it, you are now having this very sensitive issue now being spoken about by Ken Paxton, who he within himself is a very complicated individual. Not only are we talking about a person who is currently trying to fight LinkedIn over fake jobs, we have someone who's been investigated for various kinds of fraud while he's been in office. So where are we at right now? So the Texas Attorney General's office has issued a civil investigative demand. It's a legal tool that basically tells LinkedIn to hand over internal documents, data, communications about its advertising, marketing, job verification practices. And that's the full extent right now. So right now they are collecting information from LinkedIn. So LinkedIn has responded publicly defending that its verification policies, pointing to that and other things that they do in terms of recruiter response times. So this is something that is going to kind of be interesting to see how it plays out. Not only just what we're talking about with LinkedIn and its processes, but also the fact that Ken Paxton is running for office on an issue that is going to be relatively emotional. If you guys listen to me on the pod, I think the other thing that you'll hear from me is saying that at the end of the day, people will vote their pocketbooks. So talking about a people's ability to get jobs and being able to support their family, especially in the timing that we are, becomes really, really important. So it'll be interesting to see how this investigation goes, how much weight it gains between now and November, heading into the elections, and just to see what generally happens. So that is my spotlight of the week, Cheese.
All right. Well, brother
Man,
Chuck, what do you have? Oh,
well,
sorry,
real quick,
go ahead.
just a real quick. It's so interesting that Ken Paxton is taking up this fight, like you said, Manny, and people questioning your character, as we saw in the pickle. But they could have came to me in 2015, and last year I could have told him. They say 28 to 32% of them jobs. I would feel like 65, 70%.
Oh, it's up there.
It's a bunch of BS. Because and I reference those years. Those are years I lost a job and applied to countless jobs and not hear anything.
Right.
Not a rejection response, nothing.
In 2023, I was like Kanye putting, five apps a day for
5 a day for 3 summers.
Yeah. So that's wild stuff.
Definitely probably a little bit higher.
Oh yeah, for sure.
All right. Well, brother Chuck, what do you have, brother? Your spotlight of the week.
Yes, sir. My spotlight on this week comes to encompass a gentleman by the name of David Allen Shear II. And you ask, who is David Allen Shear II? Well, it's purported that he is a pro-white nationalist social media influencer. And in July of this year, a CNN K-file reported that Shear has been documented with an extensive history of sharing anti-Semitic rhetoric, Nazi imagery, and far-right conspiracy theories online. Now you ask, Charles, why are you talking about David Allen Shear on a political podcast? Well, he is the son-in-law of Republican Senate candidate Mike Collins here in the state of Georgia.
Yeah, we got a connection.
Yes. And for those who may not be in the loop of what's going on here in the state of Georgia, Mike Collins is going up against current Georgia Senator Jon Ossoff. Jon Ossoff is the first Jewish senator elected from the state of Georgia. See the correlation there, folks?
Mm-hmm.
Anti-Semitic rhetoric, Nazi imagery. Yeah. So here, the issue is these family ties. Shear is married to Collins' daughter and has been featured in family photos that was on the official campaign website for Mike Collins. They later removed it and said it was a personal decision. Shear also attended the primary election night victory party, as well as there's evidence to indicate that Shear helped produce promotional material for Collins's trucking company and is also registered to vote at a Collins-owned property adjacent to the congressman's residence. That's a little disconcerting there. What makes this even more newsworthy and really brought it to my attention was on this past week, Mike Collins was at a healthcare press conference. And at this press conference, there was a question and answer period, and reporters pressed Collins about Scheer's white nationalist activities, which Collins refused to give a direct answer to, and to explicitly denounce his son-in-law's actions in the way that he's been conducting himself. And as they continue to press the issue, Collins stated that the issue had already been handled and pointed to a generalized campaign statement condemning all forms of anti-Semitism and aggressively pivoted to attack John Ossoff. So this wasn't good enough for reporters. They kept going because you have not come out and condemned the rhetoric and the actions. So you know what Collins did? Can anybody guess?
He ran.
He cut bait and ran. Ended the press conference immediately and walked off. Now, John Ossoff did kind of address this a bit afterwards, just speaking to the fact of how Collins ended abruptly and walked away without truly addressing the matter and the issues. And I must say that John Ossoff has done a fantastic job so far in this campaign cycle. Even though he ran unopposed in the Democratic primary, he has continued to campaign. And I think my good brother Manny has said it is an advantageous opportunity when you are in the primary unopposed, because you can focus your energy on your Republican opponent. And so even before he knew who the opponent was, John Ossoff was hurling political propaganda toward the Republican side and talking in general how they have not been about the people. And then when he had a named opponent, kind of zeroed in on Mike Collins. But for me, this is very, very disheartening, I'll say, to have a U.S. Senate candidate who know you cannot control the actions of your loved ones and those around you, but to know that they are actively participating in, actively posting, and actively engaged in derogatory, discriminatory, and downright hateful rhetoric says a lot about you.
Yep.
So with that, we see where we are in this climate of the world. For a country to have hated Nazi Germany, for a country to be against so many things that we claim to be against, there's so many aspects and factions in this country that embrace those things. And I'll end my spotlight with this. I can't remember the exact group or podcast or whatever it was that I saw a reel, and they made a point that made me say, The lady was talking to a gentleman, and she said, the United States won the battle of the Civil War, but the Confederate actually won the war.
Yo, I heard something comparable to that. And
I said, what? And so as I listened to her carry on, she said, look at today. How many people wave a purported flag because the Confederate battle flag, quote unquote, that they champion and wave around was not a flag of the Confederacy, number one. But the notion, the thoughts, and some of the sentiment that was echoed then are being echoed now, especially in these white nationalists and, quite frankly, these Christian nationalists. And it made me say, you know what? The South doesn't need to rise again. The South is still here.
Yeah. Hey,
it's still here. And so with that, be careful, folks. Be careful. Pay attention. Be engaged, because one thing that Trump has done is allow these people to be confident in their hatred.
Mm-hmm.
Comfortable.
But they were always comfortable in it. They're and the reason I say confident now, because they're bold enough to put it on display. And there's, in many instances, very little repercussion. As we see, you're a social media influencer, you're getting paid for this.
True.
That's my spotlight, brother.
Hey, be careful when fighting monsters, that you yourself do not become a monster.
Woo.
Well, with that being said, to wrap up the spotlight of the week, I'm going to take my spotlight to recognize the state of Maryland for stepping up for hundreds of young people who suddenly found their college plans thrown into chaos. For those of you that don't know, Howard University recently disenrolled 502 incoming freshmen, primarily over unpaid balances and incomplete enrollment requirements such as immunization records. Howard says that the deadlines and expectations were communicated, while several students and parents said that they were confused, could not reach university officials, or were waiting for scholarships and financial aid to appear on their accounts. Now, more than 200 students have since been readmitted, but there still leaves many families searching for answers just weeks before Howard's fall semester begins on August the 17th. Now, our great brother, the governor of Maryland, Brother Wes Moore, and the university system of Maryland stepped in. So shout out to them, and shout out to them stepping up and providing something for these kids. But Maryland is now offering affected students expedited admission into their public universities, along with an $800 credit to help them transition. Bowie State University, another historically black university, is actively encouraging students to apply and says it is prepared to help make the transition as seamless as possible. Housing remains a challenge because the university currently has a wait list, but at least these students are being given another path forward instead of simply telling them, sorry, figure it out. And that is what government should sometimes look like, doing the work and helping the people. Not every political response needs to involve a press conference, an argument of something of that nature, or trying to score points politically. Sometimes leadership is recognizing that hundreds of teenagers are about to lose an entire semester and possibly lose faith in higher education altogether, and deciding to do something actually about it. Now, when you hear that, again, $800, it will not solve every financial problem. But the expedited admission will not replace the Howard experience that many students have dreamed about for years. And Maryland's offer does not excuse the communication problems and the administration breakdowns that help create this situation. But the reason I want to spotlight this with Maryland and Governor Wes Moore is because it gives these young people something they desperately need right now, and that's an option. And sometimes that's all you need. I just need an option. In the midst of chaos, in the midst of uncertainty, I just need something. And I applaud Wes Moore in the state of Maryland for stepping up, because these students should not become collateral damage in a dispute over deadlines, paperwork, and financial aid systems. Maryland saw young people standing at the edge of a closed door and decided to open another one. So for that, Maryland and the institutions welcoming these students, they deserve a spotlight, because that's how you do it. That's leadership. And that's doing the work of the people for the people, to give them an option that would best maybe not be their most ideal situation, but at least gives them something. So that's my spotlight. That whole, if you're unfamiliar with it, that whole Howard situation is a chaos and a debacle within itself. And in pre-pod, I would just say this: while I love all of our HBCU schools, I myself, and along with my brothers, we attended PWI, and I can say this in my experience, and I believe I speak to the for my brothers as well. We ain't never had this problem.
Couldn't be me though.
Definitely didn't have this problem.
All my stuff was where it was at when it was supposed to be early and when it was needed.
Yeah.
If there was a hiccup, it was on my fault.
Mm-hmm.
That's fact. But also in that shout out, I got to give a shout out to New York Governor Kathy Hochul. How you say it?
You read about him.
Yeah, I read about him.
But she offered something very similar to Governor Westmore for guaranteed entry to SUNY and CUNY universities, alongside an $800 deposit credit for New York students disenrolled by Howard University. So, although their primary target was New York students, but like you said, you were given the option. There was, because at this point, schools are not in the enrollment period. They're not
options.
That late in the
you need
game
more than
is nuts,
options.
bro.
It's late in the game. They're not even taking applications to enroll in the fall. So you are
nowhere you can go.
Nowhere you can go. Not even a community college.
Nope.
Like the enrollment, any enrollment that you're doing would be for the spring semester.
Mm-hmm.
So shout out to these two governors who are presenting those opportunities. And I'm gonna take an opportunity. If you want to send me some money for my daughter, because I got college tuition coming up. Jesus. And
help my brother out.
Help me, please. Help me, please. But yeah, my daughter leaves to go back to college next week. So man, it's
college season is back again.
College season is back. And football is almost
14th.
back.
Hey, bro, that's exciting. Shout out to ECU with their first test coming up in a few weeks against Alabama.
Alabama and Tuscaloosa. I might try to go out there and represent. I'm only a few hours away, so
if we get to halftime and we ain't down by 21, I'm gonna count that as a win. See, look, we don't have to win the whole game. We don't have to win the war. We just got to win a couple of battles.
I just need you to hang.
I just got to win a couple of battles. Hey, we come out the first quarter down one possession. That's a win for me.
Yeah.
We
got on the board.
Hey, we got a field goal.
Hey,
we need more than a field goal.
Quarterback didn't throw an interception. No, you remember who did we play? Michigan that year? Remember? We lost.
Yeah.
But the O-line didn't give up a single sack. That's a win.
That's
I walked out of that.
Sometimes the best win is a moral victory. Sometimes a moral victory is a win.
Hey, bro.
Hey, here's a Jay-Z line for that.
Well, look, man, shout out to all of those families, students that are getting ready for college to start back up again.
And regular school.
Oh, yeah, and
My son will be going to school when you're listening to this. It will be his first day of school.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so I've had to.
That's early.
Well, they go to school early around here. They get a whole week off. They get a week off in September.
Okay.
They get what they call fall break. They get an entire week.
Early. Mine been back for 2 weeks now.
Oh, yeah.
Man, sheesh. Mine don't go back till close to the end of August.
Okay.
I think the 21st of August. Wow. And then my oldest baby starts college on the 14th.
Yeah, man.
So, yeah, man. That season starting back. Shout out to these students and to the teachers too, man.
For sure.
Our teachers
and the
administration, counselors,
staff, everybody.
Because it's the summer. I was talking to my sister-in-law and my mother-in-law is a retired teacher. My sister-in-law is a teacher and my wife's a teacher. And I was talking to her this past week, and she made a great point. The summer, they say, well, teachers, y'all get the whole summer off, blah, 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 blah. But by the time you really decompress from the year that you've had with these kids, you really got like almost maybe half the summer gone.
My wife gets screwed over, bro. My wife literally gets about 3 weeks only.
Really?
Because when they let out, the teachers get out before. So my wife's a counselor, so they'll get out, and I think with this past round of school, I think her last day was like July 10th or July 12th. I mean June 10th or 12th, one of them, and she went back to work July 8th.
Who's she counseling?
Well, they're doing all the stuff, the
training,
scheduling, schedules. They making sure they got to make sure credits and things line up and all the things.
Man, forget them kids.
That's why I ain't in the school system.
Hey, look, I take my hat off to all of y'all in the school system because I couldn't do it. I appreciate the job that y'all do, but I know I can't even be a substitute teacher. I wouldn't last 6 hours with these kids because I don't tolerate disrespect from my own kids. I know I ain't about to do it with nobody strange kids, and some of y'all parents need to be touched.
I'm gonna show you, and not by an angel.
Yep, yeah, I am not Della Reese.
Or that white lady that was there with her.
Or whoever that white lady that was with her. So shout out to y'all getting ready to get back into that groove, man, because, the summer just ain't long enough. And unfortunately, somebody got to teach the kids. And I hope that getting back into that groove, I hope that you guys have a successful year, and hopefully it won't be too bad, and keep doing what y'all doing, because we support y'all here at the pod. We love all our teachers, administrators, counselors, even the janitors and the bus drivers, bro. Y'all important too. Everybody that contributes to the success of these kids in some shape, form, or fashion. We thank you. So, yeah, man.
Before we go, I want to beg one more time. Y'all, my son is wearing the same size shoe as I am.
Bruh.
See,
y'all pray for me.
I won't never know what that problem is like unless one of my girls end up growing up and being as tall as Brittany Griner without the lifestyle. Hey,
I might have that problem.
I wrap up the show, man. Wrap up. It is. I'm done.
To our listeners, we thank you for tuning in. We took a little break, but we back. We back. We thank y'all for joining us, for lending us your ear for the duration of this podcast. As we always tell you, if don't nobody love you, just know the boys here at the podcast. We love you. We love you. We love you. Like, share, follow, subscribe to all our social media platforms. Spread the word. Bring another.
Interact with us, man. Holla at us.
Talk to us. We talk back. That's what T-Pain said. Talk to me. I talk back.
Talk to me. I talk back.
Hey, man. We talk. So y'all holler at us and let us know if there's anything that you want us to cover. You want to know our thoughts on anything? Hit us up. Let us know. But until then, take care, world, and we'll see you at the next episode.
Peace.
Peace.